directly in the soil from seed, I think like 4 years ago, and they finally have taken off. This is another variety. I don't know the names anymore. I just collected seeds on my travels, and yeah, I just put them in the ground, and a few of them have actually grown. And then I also have lupines, and these are just the classic blue colors. They start to have a bud. Soon I can collect those, and you can see I am covering the weeds with the freshly cut grass. So this mess here is actually my winter garden, and I planted 28 bottles, and exactly half of them were successful, and these are opened because I needed them to adapt to the light. And I was most proud of this kale that grew beautifully, and since I opened, some slugs eat it. But I must say the kale was like an absolute success, because it grew so much bigger than those ones inside in the plugs. And what else grew very nicely, it's like the what is this, papaver, I will put the name here. Sometimes I can't find the English name. Yeah, I have more. Yeah, poppies. The poppies grew also very well. These are gonna be planted now. Then I have some nice parsley in the winter garden. And what else? Oh yeah, I had okay, I don't know what is in here. Maybe just the weeds. But yeah, I had the leek. The leek grown also okay. These are similar to the ones that I had inside. And then I have some more cabbages looking nice. And I must say I like really much this method of the winter garden, because these plants grew so strong. Oh yeah, the cornflower, look at the cornflower. It's like really ready to plant. Grew immensely, really well done. So I'm thinking maybe I can show you some parts of my garden. There is not much yet. I am using these big tarps to kill the weeds, so to weaken down the weeds. And after that, it was like kind of pretty easy. I left them a month or so, and it was pretty easy to dig up all the roots and everything. And I just want to check on what I got here already. So over there I have a few lavenders, and my remaining of the winter gardens needs to be planted in that bed. I'm gonna have some beautiful flowers coming up. But the interesting stuff is happening here, which I'm very proud of, because this one is a asparagus, and this one I grew last year from seed, and this year come up so much stronger. Asparagus needs like 3 years until you can harvest it. Maybe this one will need even more. So you can see my my garden, it looks pretty weedy, but I leave some of the weeds actually. I will explain that later. And here I have some radishes and chives in the front, and intermingled with this aronia bush. And only we had this aronia here and this little plant here that last year, and all this is new. And moving further, I have a rhubarb that grew also from seed last year. And around it I have a lot of garlic. And here I have this weed, goose foot. And I love to keep it because it's so beneficial. First of all, it's delicious. I love to eat it. Intermingled, I have some spinach, so I'm usually harvesting them together and having them in the salad. And also, it's nice. It's good to have it for your garden. Leave it in your garden because all these black aphids, if you have the goose food, they would choose to live on that and not on your precious crop. And over here I have something absolutely that I love. This is edible chrysanthemum. Shungiku is a Japanese variety, it's its name. And the leaves and the flowers are edible. And it's absolutely delicious. I really love the taste. It kind of reminds me, I'm not sure, but it reminds me of something so much. I think like kale or something. So yeah, and over here I have a few sweet peas, but they are not thriving. Obviously I still have to do some weeding. So this one is my first bud of ranunculus, and I think it's gonna be open very soon. I hope the focus is right. It's so difficult. And over here, this big lush greenery, it's the funny story because I bought some seeds when I was in Iceland. It said gulrófur, and I thought it's something, a flower, some interesting flower. And I planted this finally this year, and I took good care of it, always trying to change the pot size and really protecting them. And it turns out it's turnip. So, but it's growing like so lush and so green. And finally I have my kale, frilly kale, Siberian kale, I guess. I totally lost the labels for them, but I already harvested some kale, so that's great. I also got some stock growing. Never grown those before, so I'm curious about them. How will they perform? Yeah, and then chamomile, and this is a interesting spinach. It's called strawberry spinach, and the leaves are like spinach, but then later on it has some great fruits, red fruits on it, and I really like the taste. Oh, and over there my potatoes come up really. So this is one section of my little garden. Everything is intermingled. I think everything is much closer than recommended. Here I have some onions, but I don't mind. I will see how this way they will perform. I don't mind mixing flowers with vegetables. I really like that. I realized I just don't like to have everything in a row, and that kind of order for me it's kind of appealing, but it's not something I am striving for to achieve. So yes. So, and regarding ranunculuses, I really want to show you this this patch, because these few corms, there are like 3-4 corms here that I actually put out directly in the ground at the same time that I started the other corms inside, and that was the time when it was recommended. I think it was end of April. And we had like minus 4 or 5 degrees at that time, and I kept them just safe with a little plastic bottle or something on top. They were really small, but now they are so lush and they are doing so much better, so incredibly much better, so great foliage than the other ones. And I show you the other ones are over here. So these are the ones that were started inside, and these are just like, you see how much is the difference. I started this inside. They had fertilizer. I put them up in bigger pots, and then I planted out. But looks like the ranunculus really loves the cold, because that and this one, it's like, wow, huge difference. And another bud is here. Another. Yeah, and there is another bud, and it's gonna be pink. Yeah, there's just a mix of ranunculuses, so I have no idea what color. And in this garden bed, it's much more order. And here I planted my cabbages. Yeah, some more tarp around it to exclude the light of the from the weeds and the boxes. And I also have again this year more asparagus. This is how they look when they come up from the seed. They're really fragile, really tiny. So they will need 3-4 years until they can produce for harvesting. This little tree is called Cornus mas, and it was kind of struggling I planted this like 4 years ago, and it was kind of struggling until now, and this year it's come up so nicely. It has so beautiful leaves, and I'm so happy because this is kind of on a limit with the zone, how much cold he can tolerate. Maybe now it's getting stronger, he will tolerate better cold. And also because the name of my son is, means this plant, this Cornus mas, yeah, Shom in Hungarian. This is Shom fa in Hungarian, and my son, it's called Shoma. So, and I really wanted for him to have a tree, and now it is gonna be history.